You also asked me about how I feel at becoming president. It's an enormous responsibility. It's a humbling responsibility. It's a responsibility one approaches and accepts with humility, with some trepidation, feeling, I dare not fail. I dare not disappoint.
I dare not fail. I dare not disappoint. That is the president-elect of Botswana. My family in Botswana, my people in Botswana, this is your brother Dobia Anzanse from One Africa Mission. Please, I need Botswana citizenship. I need Botswana citizenship. And you know why? Because you guys are so blessed. From one good governance to another one. Because recently we saw our brother Wudimaya in Botswana, and then he was reporting that in Botswana, university students, they get paid for going to university. Healthcare is free in Botswana. Many social amenities are available for the citizens of Botswana. This tells you that the leadership, the outgoing leadership, they were doing remarkably well. They were doing very well. And today, you have elected another vibrant, digital thinking leader. Not analog in that we have in West Africa. And then he's talking about, and this is why we need young leadership. Because he knows if he failed, prosperity will judge him when he's still alive. This is the reason why we're talking about having young leaders in Africa as political leaders in Africa. Because he knows if he fails, prosperity will judge him when he's still alive. Not all these 87 years, 90 years old leaders in West Africa who knows that when they pass laws or when they even betray their people, the next day they're not going to be around to see what is happening. I want us to go and listen to the president-elect. It's powerful, beautiful speech. You will be amazed. You will love it. Please take time out of your busy schedules and listen to him. But before you do that, as I keep calling on you here in One Africa Mission, if you're coming across us for the first time, please support our mission. Our mission is all about the unity of Africa and our dignity as a people. If we want a dignified Africa, then we must fight to unite the continent of Africa. That is what we believe. So please support our mission. Share it, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, on TikTok. We are the #1 Africa Mission. And our mission, as I keep saying, is to unite our continent. We are on a mission until we regain back our dignity as children of Africa. Let's listen to our new intelligent elected president come back and talk about it.
You also asked me about how I feel at becoming president. It's an enormous responsibility. It's a humbling responsibility. It's a responsibility one approaches and accepts with humility, with some trepidation, feeling, I dare not fail. I dare not disappoint. They told me last time that they have medical aid, government pays 80%, and they pay 20%. Why does government pay 80%? What is the rationale there? Is it because they work? Or is it because they are special, they are the only ones who require health care? And those other people who are not working don't require? No. We bring it down to brass tacks and we say the basis on which you need to be covered as well is that you're a citizen, you have a right to quality health care. And so we will make sure we structure in the middle this 17 billion, create a machinery that makes it possible for everyone to access quality health care. You will have a medical aid scheme which will enable doctors to set up even in the rural areas.
Yes, you listen to him. That is the kind of leadership we require today as Africans. Leadership that thinks for the collective good of everybody, not just the few. As I said, those institutions that was left for us by the colonial criminals, that when you are a leader, it should just be between you and your chronics. You can go abroad and have medical care, and then the rest of the citizens will not have good quality health care. It should be a thing of the past, and that is exactly what our new elected president is talking about. And you know, sometimes we, especially those of us in West Africa, our leaders have failed us, because I said it before and I'm repeating it. If you watch, most of the young, vibrant African youth who are perishing in the Mediterranean Sea, 80 to 85% of them are coming from West Africa.
Oh, another. You may have no. No. No.
This tells you that our leadership in West Africa have failed us. Most of them are not coming from Southern Africa. These are facts. If not Nigeria, Ghana, Senegal.
Apa, Lamiu, Godorona, rescue, Goza Pre, Ima, Goza Pre, I pray.
Gambia, this is where they are coming from. And the other day, when Udimaya was talking about Botswana giving university students, like paying them to go to uni and all that kind of stuff, we heard a lot of people saying, some people, especially people from West Africa, saying, oh, because Botswana is a small country, that is why they are able to do that. It is not because they are a small country. It doesn't, if with good leadership, it doesn't matter how big your population are or how smaller it is, you can still work for the good of your people. Because Gambia is just the population of Gambia is just like Botswana. But in Gambia, the citizens of Gambia does not enjoy that. Why? Because of lack of good leadership. So if it was because your population is small, because of that, that is the reason why our people in Botswana are enjoying all the social amenities that they are enjoying. Then the citizens of Gambia should be also be enjoying that. The citizens of Ghana should be enjoying that. So it is not about the population of the country. It is about the leadership of the country. If the leadership are ready to work for the good, for the collective good of everybody, they will use the resources of that country to benefit the people. But if you have analog thinking leaders leading digital world, then they will continue to be thinking analog. They will continue to be thinking backward. Because for them, when the colonial criminals were leaving, they appointed a group of people who are supposed to be working for the interests of the colonial criminals. And then when you need healthcare, they will give you the access to come to their country, Britain, in America, France, to come and have that good healthcare. But the rest of the citizens leave them. But in countries like Botswana and Co, it is not like that. Even in South Africa, it's not like that. At least, if for nothing, they have good quality healthcare. The infrastructure is there. So yes, as I said, West African youth, West Africans, we have to stand up and force our leaders to also work for the interests of all of us. Because imagine in Botswana, they've got all this, and yet they elect new leadership that will continue from the good works of the previous government. So as I said, once again, my people in Botswana, you guys need to give me citizenship. Because in West Africa, our leaders have failed us. So we are everywhere running for greener pastures. We are everywhere. Wherever there's no curfew, we want to be there. So please, if somebody can give me a Botswana citizenship, then I'm more than welcome to be a Botswana citizen, because you people are blessed with good leadership. It is all about leadership. We keep saying it. Africa is not poor. Kwame Nkrumah said it. It is the people of Africa who are poor. The continent of
Africa is rich and not poor. Africa is far from being poor. It is Africans who are poor, not Africa. And they are poor because of the uncounted profit that has been made out of the exploitation of their labor and their lands.
Africa has what it takes to give every citizen of Africa a better quality life, just as our people in Botswana are enjoying. And not only did the president talk about that, he also talked about how we Africans, we just wake up, go and take other people. A system working for Britain doesn't mean that it can work for Nigeria. A system that is working for France doesn't mean that it can work for Burkina. And that is what Burkina Faso is changing. That is what Mali is changing. That is what Niger is trying to change. Because a system working in France doesn't mean that it will work for French colonies in Africa. Let's listen to what the president also said about that. Come back and conclude our talk.
History does not offer us any blueprints. History offers us counsel and examples of how to do things and how perhaps not to do them. So those who think we go to history and we find some system complete, we call it capitalism. We bring it and we apply it. Or we find some system complete, socialism. They are wrong, plain and simple. We have to identify solutions, sometimes brew them here, that work for our context. It is important for us to appreciate this, so that our competition is not about plundering the libraries to find what Karl Marx says in Das Kapital Volume 3, or what Lenin says in What is to be Done. No, we read these because, as the authors themselves said, these are but guides to action, not dogma. So the dogmatic approach of thinking, this is socialism, this is capitalism, and so this one is socialist, this one is capitalist, we are all here. And if you want to label me at any point in ideological terms, I belong to the social innovation movement. I want to create, I want to reimagine. And that Italian philosopher Giambattista Vico says we can reimagine society because we created it. Society is an artifact. We create things and then we become prisoners and we think they can't be changed. We change them. And we can change them any which way, depending on whether it works for us, works for our people. And it need not be the same thing that anybody else is doing. This is the problem that the BDP faces. What they inherited, they can only tinker with at the margins. No. We want solutions that work for our people, for our country. And when we get into this terrain, you realize you must approach it with an open mind. There are no blueprints. We will sit, we will quarrel over things, and we will resolve them. We will strike compromises here and there, and we will proceed. When we realize this is not the right way, we will change course. This is what politics is about.
Yes. Did you hear him? You just don't wake up and go find a system. Somebody design a system for their people. You just go out, pick that system, come and try to implement it in your country. It is not going to work. You have to look within. Create your own system that will be good for the environment that you are living in. And we've been talking about these things for far too long. We need African leadership with coming out with African solutions based on the realities of Africa. The Americans, the Western world created capitalism. Capitalism is good for their system, their thinking, their psychology. Capitalism is good for them. So you don't allow them to force capitalism on you, the Africans. In Africa, it's all about Ubuntu. You are because I am. And because we have decided to be taking up everybody or people's system, then it drives us away from who we are. And for that matter, it is not working for us. We are working with amnesia. We confuse. We don't know where to go. Because Russia or China has designed their own socialist way system, then we wake up, we're going to pick their socialist system, come and try to implement it in Africa. We are not Chinese. We are not communists. We are not Russians. We are Africans. Yes, we can partner with other people to better what we already have, but we cannot just try to pick other people's system to implement, come and force it on ourselves. It has never worked for nobody. And that is exactly what the newly elected President Duma is talking about. And that is what we want. Young thinkers, new thinkers for the continent of Africa. That is exactly what our people in the Sahel are doing, whilst we're trying to bully them in the name of democracy. Even the democratic system that we are practicing, it is not ours. Just because it is working for other people doesn't mean that it will work for us. So how do you come out with a system that will work for the good of your people? Must you go and then take what British are doing because you are a former colony of Britain? No. Because Britain has colonized you before. All the system that they have, you will just go and copy it and come and try to paste it on your people. It will not work. And that is the reason why we're struggling as African people. And I am so happy that the president is talking about looking for systems of our own. Don't just wake up, go and pick somebody's system, thinking that it will work for you. If the Chinese were waiting for that to work for them, the Chinese will be behind just like we are. Everybody got their system. Even this democracy that they are forcing on us and on our neck, bombing it on us, unaliving our people in the name of democracy. They themselves, every country in Europe, have their own system of democracy because it tells you how your sovereignty. So the British system of democracy is totally different from that of the German system of democracy. The German system of democracy is totally different from that of the Italian system of democracy. The Italian system of democracy is totally different from that of the French. And it goes across the continent of Europe. And even in America, the American system of democracy is different from that of that one they are practicing in Europe. And yet, for us, we just sit down. When they come out with something, we go take it and implement it. Even like in every aspect of life, that tells you that we are still in bondage. So we need new leadership that will come out with different ideas that will suit the continent and the realities of Africa. I thank you very much for coming around. Please, if you appreciate what we are doing here in One Africa Mission, I'm calling on you to support our mission. It's a difficult journey, but we are being called to do this. Let us do it not just for us, but for the next generation of Africans. History and prosperity will judge us if we leave this same Africa for the next generation of Africans. Prosperity will judge us. We cannot afford to handle a same Africa that children of Africa are perishing in the Mediterranean Sea. That the image of Africa is nothing but negative.
We must unite now. We must have one army. We must have one currency. We must have one foreign policy. We must be united.